the power of words. We love the power of listening, learning, the power of connection, the power of women. We are here because at one time in our lives we were mentored. And given your positions, you have mentored many people. Are you a mentor or a mentee? That's the topic for today. I'm Beverley Namboza and Sengyumva, proud to host you on another episode of Bump Love. How are you doing, Barbara and Manuela?
Fabulous.
First of all, is it mentor or mentor?
Well, I say mentor because of Toastmasters.
Oh, okay. Mentor.
You see the deviation? Now we're going to take 3 hours.
Mentor. I say
Oh, this is part of the show.
Mentor.
Oh,
yeah.
are you sure?
Yes.
It was. It's part
Banter.
of the show.
I say mentor. Toastmasters taught me how to pronounce it as mentor, but I say mentorship, not mentorship.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Interesting. I'm good.
Yes, mentor Manuela.
Mentor Manuela. If there's one thing that I get, like when people are like, "Hi Manuela, I want to meet you. Can you mentor me?" It's like almost the third question that I'll get. "Hi Manuela,
How are
you
you?
doing? Can you mentor me? Hi, can you mentor me?" So mentor me.
The thing is, if
You start by
mentor,
correcting
the
them.
noun.
So I'm a mentor, but
the
I
verb
mentor.
Yes.
Nah, we are going to go for Toastmasters because
by
what's
the way,
this? Actually,
yeah.
we're going to just pay you. You do.
You be
publicity
our
with us and you
Toastmaster.
finish us, because what's this? Anyway, so yeah, that's one of the biggest questions that I get. And interestingly, it's interesting that you talk about that because this week I had one of my mentors.
10 out of 10.
Sincerely.
So I do have a mentorship program that I run annually, and people usually subscribe to it. So I open it up October, November, December for people to sign up, but I can only have 12 people for the entire year, and I work with them for for an entire year. That's why when someone comes, "Can you mentor me?" I'm just like, "I'm sorry, you have to wait until the end of the year because I'm already walking a journey with certain people," and then I meet them at regular intervals through the year, and when they meet me, they come and they are flies on the wall in my life. So they come, they drive, they go to every meeting that I attend, they attend every event I attend, they eat the food that I'm eating, they do everything, and then they use that as an opportunity to ask me questions. So I require of them to have questions that they've written down based on what they're seeing with their own eyes.
Good.
And then I ask them, because I told them many times, you want to be mentored about something, but if you saw your mentor do it, it would answer so many of your own questions, about your own life and give you guidance on your own life. So this week I actually had one of my mentors, my mentees.
We shall learn English by force.
We shall come. I had one of my mentees come through, and she spent the day with me, and it was a beautiful experience.
That's lovely. So
Actually,
you had a lovely week with your mentees.
with my mentee.
Mentee.
There was one who
Wonderful.
came this week. I spent one day in the week with her.
That's lovely.
So yeah,
So the
Barbara?
mentor
Yeah.
came for mentorship.
the mentee
The mentee
came for mentorship from the mentor.
Barbara,
Okay.
how was your week? Or how's your day going?
Oh my God, my week was good. I've enjoyed it. My week was good. I met a wonderful lady this week that's going to launch a book on customer experience, and she's trained one of the best, almost all the best organizations in this. Because when I met her, I said, "So, like, who have you trained on customer experience? Are you an authority?" Before we go out, book launches are very difficult.
Yes.
You've got to be an authority in what you do.
Of course.
You guys. She's like, Umeme, Centenary Bank,
Oh.
NSSF. I was like,
You're like, yeah. You're
let's
the
do
one.
this. We'll do this together. It was nice. And then she said, "I need you to meet my mentor." Mentor.
Yeah.
He's a distinguished gentleman, one in this town. I don't know, like, I was like, so I went for the meeting. I'm organized, I'm humble. And then the gentleman comes and he's someone I know. Like, he just walked into the room and he's like, "Go, Barbara, how are you?" I was like, I was under all this tension the whole day because it was you.
Yeah.
But it was actually nice to see that even people who are doing great things are being mentored.
Yes,
Yeah.
of
That means
course.
that they've understood
Yes.
the role of guidance
Yes.
in their lives.
Yes.
Because for someone as established as her, I'd think she knows everything.
Yeah.
But now,
She was guided.
her mentor was someone higher than her.
Yeah.
And to be able to get his time as well. Those people are very busy.
Yeah.
I was
And
like,
that's why I love the idea of mentorship and
Yeah.
guidance
Yeah.
and success, because I believe that success is impossible without the right guidance.
Right.
Success doesn't fall from a tree.
Yeah.
One-
Or you can't pick it up.
You don't pick it up from
Yeah.
a tree at
Yeah.
all. It has to come from the roots.
Yeah.
And those, this is deep. Quote. Because you see, the
Sweet
word
about
just-
sweet,
you
darling.
see the roots.
It comes from
But
the
you see-
roots.
Did you feel that
I
the
felt it.
energy,
I felt
the
it.
depth of my statement? Oh, let's just hold it there a bit.
Let's
We're
silence.
still at the roots.
Silence, please. Success does not come from the tree.
It comes
comes
from the roots.
Beverly Nambozo Sengiuba.
Mentor.
mentor.
No, but so the roots are the beginning of mentorship, I
Right.
believe. And then when you are grounded well by the right mentorship,
Yeah.
you then flourish. That determines the type of tree
Right.
you become, the type of fruit you bear,
Yeah.
and then who will
Ooh,
benefit
the
from
type
it.
of fruit you bear. I don't know what's
I need
going
to
on.
cool
What are you drinking? It's probably her drink.
Yeah, I'm too much for
You're too
myself.
much.
I should
No, but
mentor
you're right
myself.
about that. Be your own mentor and mentee. You're right about that, because you can have so many mango trees all lined up, but the fruit they bear, the number of fruits, the type of, like the quality of the fruit, even if it is the same seed.
No, we're too wise for our own.
Well, I don't know.
We're
let's
too
just-
wise for
what
our
is
good.
Back to mentorship.
But that's the root and the tree and the fruit are great descriptions.
Right.
And I would say mentorship is long term.
Yeah.
When you say people want to be mentored by you, what they mean is an experience where they learn from you, not
Yeah.
on one specific thing, but about your life. So
Yeah.
generally something about your life is admirable, and they
Right.
want to grasp what it means to gain the status anyone has gained.
Right.
And they want that light from this person.
Right.
When someone comes for mentorship, it's rarely in something specific. That's more of coaching.
Yeah.
But this is a long-term relationship. And sometimes it's friendly. Many times it's informal. You
Yeah.
get to meet the families. It's
Right.
really intimate.
Right.
Having said that, I do find it challenging that some people have too many mentors. They can have 50 or 60 because everyone wants to be guided, and then the relationship becomes difficult to maintain. Its strength
Right.
becomes difficult to maintain.
Right.
But mentorship is really a long-term relationship where you guide and support someone through a process.
Right.
And it's hard to define what it is, but they want
It's
your
about
life
life in
success. It's about life in
general.
general. Yes,
Yes, yeah.
yes.
Because the
Yeah.
I want to say the illusion, but that's not the
Yes.
right word. But essentially, you get mentorship from someone that you admire
Yes.
in either a particular area or their
Life
whole
in general.
life.
Yes.
Yeah, their whole life, and with that thing in particular. So let's say,
Yes.
for example, you're a person in finance. You love finance, right? You look for a person that's really good in finance, but whose life you admire in general. Otherwise,
Yes.
if you want finance on finance, or you want somebody because of just they're really good at finance, then you're
That's
going
coaching.
towards coaching as opposed
Yes.
towards mentorship.
Mentorship.
Because
Yes.
mentorship, you understand that while this person is a finance guru, they
They
have
are-
a life.
They have a life
Around
They're in
them.
church, they're in sports,
I
they're
guess it could be
mothers.
both. It could be one or both. For instance, I always tell people that I want to meet those ladies downtown, the traders.
Right.
Yes.
I'd like to spend time with them. I'd like to listen to their stories on investment, on risk taking, on business, and growing.
Right.
I don't think that that I want their life in general, because there are certain aspects that I might not be able
That
to.
you don't even relate with.
Thank you. But that's one thing that I want to know, because these are ladies that have started from nothing
Yes,
and
true.
now own arcades.
Yeah.
How do I grow in that line? What's their risk appetite? How do they manage it to make sure that they don't lose all they've
You
made?
want coaching then?
That's coaching.
Because it's specific
Yes,
about
it's
the
so
investment
specific,
capacity.
yeah.
But mentorship can also be specific.
So
It's long term and it's more
The people that are
General.
because the people that are doing the marriage mentorship with Helga.
Yeah.
I am one of them. That's all.
No, essentially, in my mind, she's doing coaching because she's teaching. Yeah, she's it's structured. You meet at particular times in a day, or then you have like.
Can you have a
assignments.
business mentor?
Yes.
Yes.
So I know that they use.
Can
the
you
word,
have a marriage mentor?
I know that they use the word
Parenting mentor?
I know they use the word mentor, but like I was saying earlier, that even when I say I want you as a parenting mentor, yeah. When I come to you as a parenting mentor for the real definition that it is, yeah, I will come and I want to know about how you do your parenting, but I will understand, or our relationship shall be in such a way that I understand that you as a parent, you also are a wife.
Yes.
You also are a businesswoman. So by the time you parent this child, there's an element of you that goes to work. So when you come back from work, how do you deal with your children?
Yes.
I do not remove the parenting from the entire being. Yeah,
But
the
do you
entire
ask me
picture.
how I run my business?
So no, you don't. I don't ask you how you run your
She's
business.
interested in
but
you as a parent.
I'm interested in you as a parent who owns a business.
A business.
I'm interested in you as a parent who's a married woman. I'm interested in you as a parent who is. But when it's
A
a coach,
preacher.
I don't even know if you're married. If you
Yes.
have, you know,
We only
or
want
if
to
you
know
have.
how does Barbara manage this finance? That's
Yeah.
all.
And Barbara is like, okay, if you want to manage finance,
Yes.
we're going to meet every Tuesday, every week. Every month. You will come here. You will do these assignments. Where are your results? A mentor can even be there when you're not bringing results.
Yeah.
And they are so sweet and nice, and this is life. I understand because they are
For those
looking
who have
at you
sweet
in
mentors.
the entire context. They are
Yes.
looking at you in the entire context of life. A coach doesn't care.
Unless
at
they're
all.
life coaches.
Unless they're life coaches, that's
Okay.
different.
both
yeah.
Also, a life
elements
coach
from
will
each
do
other.
general,
Yes.
life
Yeah.
in general,
Yeah.
your work, your relationships, your...
And
Yeah.
even that is time bound.
Yes. Oh, yes.
They share elements from each other, the
That's
coaching
true.
and mentoring, and that is that you meet together. Two people meet together for the purpose of growth.
Right.
And that's the fundamental element they share.
Oh, one is paid, one may or may not be paid. Yes.
That's true.
That's why mentorship, sometimes you can meet once in 6 months.
Right.
You see?
Right.
Because it's not defined.
Right.
But a coach, time bound, is a business interaction.
Right.
For mentorship, not really. That's why coaches now are being preferred, because people do want to see results. Sometimes you can be mentored, and because of its fluidity, you don't keep to the tight schedules.
Right.
You're not keen,
Right.
as keen as you would if you were
That's
a
why
coach.
I make people to pay for my mentorship.
You see, there you go.
I'm like, if you don't make it to the meetings,
Yes. Otherwise, they will not respect the schedules.
can't respect-
and your
But
time.
people respect things they pay for.
They do.
true.
Of
Yeah.
course they do.
It's
Yeah.
true.
They
Yes,
value
do.
they value them actually.
Yes,
right,
they
that's
do.
true. That's true.
Now that we've defined this mentorship, you've
Right.
been mentored and you have served as mentors,
Right.
haven't you?
Yeah.
Why do you think it's important for women to have mentorship as success,
Okay.
as an ingredient for success?
success.
Why is it important? You could speak for men, but speak for women.
I think we shall speak for women. We shall let the men speak for themselves. I like to tell people that I go through life like a sponge. I want to absorb as much as I know, because you cannot ever sit in a position and believe you know
it all.
everything. Actually, the beginning of going down a steep slope to destruction is thinking that you know everything.
That's true.
So it's important for women, because we can't know everything. We need to grow, but we're also living in a very competitive world.
Yes,
we're competing against women in our community, women in our country, women out of our
Globally.
country, globally, men,
Yeah.
and now younger women.
Right.
You understand? So to be able to compete favorably, you really can't know everything. And there'll always be a woman that's older than you,
Yes.
that's more experienced than you. She might not
more
be older, but
seasoned.
more experienced, more seasoned, and somebody with that call for mentorship.
Right.
Not everybody can
Ooh,
mentor.
that's
I might
it.
have all the information,
Yes.
all the experience, but I don't know how to hold someone's hand and lead them to where I am. So those that have the calling can do it very well. And I think it's what we need. What's the thing of to be able to succeed, you have to step on somebody's shoulders.
Yes,
yes,
of a giant.
Yes. So I think everybody needs that giant in different areas. relationships, motherhood, business, career, health and wellness.
Right.
There's always something to learn. So I think in this process, in this journey of self-discovery, of growth,
Yeah.
and of living fulfilling lives,
Right.
we must have mentors.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Yeah.
I agree. Totally.
I think one of the reasons as to why mentorship is such is a great ingredient for success for women is because in the mentorship environment is the one place that you can be vulnerable
Oh,
for
wow.
growth.
Yeah, that's true.
So many times as women we are vulnerable because we are hurting. We are vulnerable because we want someone to come and support us. You're upset with your husband, so you become vulnerable so they can say, yeah, that man is a bad man. You become vulnerable because you want help. This is the first time you're vulnerable and you're letting someone say you were wrong. And you're not going to get annoyed.
Is yours.
The problem is you. That one you need to have done better.
Yes.
That one, and there you're not, I want to say you're not getting annoyed, but that's not true. You do get upset.
Yes.
You do get angry. But this is the time when you're opening up to a stranger and so you can take in their feedback.
Yes.
You're not looking for we're happy-go-luckies. No, you're looking for actual feedback so that you can be better. That's a different kind of vulnerability. Secondly, I think it's a great ingredient because, you guys, this life, I don't want to say is so short, but let me say it is too short for us to make the mistakes that somebody already made and already
like
knows.
why?
You could learn.
Why?
They made them so you could learn from them.
Yes.
Why? You know, why don't you just say to yourself, let me go to see someone so that I can know what mistakes I am about to make and make sure that I don't make those same mistakes, or they can tell me how to navigate so that this thing where I want to retire instead of retiring at 90, I can retire at 45 because the time spent in making mistakes, correcting those mistakes, learning from those mistakes, and navigating away from the next mistake. It's grandparents, that mistakes, children.
Yes.
I'm now resting, I'm
Yes.
chill, and I'm successful.
Yes. In the growth of those mistakes, in the correction of those mistakes. Mentorship is definitely important because you don't know what you don't know.
Ooh.
That's
Girl,
not my quote,
what's
though.
go- oh, it's not yours.
mine.
Okay,
No,
then
it's
let's
from
continue.
someone. It could have been, though. But this one wasn't mine. It's not my quote.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. You don't know what you don't know.
Yeah.
You need to have someone with knowledge. And I believe when we are seeking mentorship, sometimes mentorship finds us.
Yeah.
And people approach you and say, I want to mentor you because they see your capacity.
something.
And your
They
potential.
They see your
say,
potential.
I can work with this one.
Yes, I can work with
Yeah.
this one because some mentees can be a headache. Have you ever held someone's hand and they're not learning. They're taking everyone backwards.
You take the horse to the water and it refuses to
You're
drink.
supposed to be patient, but
It
how
wants
much
you to get a cup
Yes.
and pour.
How much
Open its
patience
mouth.
can you exercise?
Right.
How much patience can you exercise? Those who see your potential and they choose you, that mentorship is dynamite.
Right.
It will ignite into something you've never known.
That's
and that
the best kind of
relationship
mentorship.
will last forever.
Right.
Because its potential, first of all, in making a friendship is powerful, but its potential in creating two people with great minds who are ready to put in the work together at that moment, woo, unlimited, unlimited. I believe that women should have female mentors if they find the right ones.
Right.
You can have male mentors, but because of the nature of mentorship, I would think females need female mentors. What do you think?
Oh, that's such a great question.
Yes.
So I've had both male and female mentors.
Scandal.
I know,
Telenovela.
right? I know, telenovela.
No, but yeah, no, go ahead because I think
No,
it's important.
I've found that many times the people that I admire
Yes.
in certain areas are male.
Yes.
Yeah. And so I'm just like, now I have to go to them. But they can't give me a coaching environment because they don't have the time to meet me frequently. They can meet me maybe once in a blue moon and
Yes.
once in a while.
Ah, right.
So I find that now I have to turn this relationship, which should have potentially been maybe a coaching,
Yes.
into a mentorship to aid there for them to be
Yes.
able to help me. So I admire them in that area. And then I know for a fact that they can't give me a coaching relationship.
Yes.
It can only be a mentorship relationship. Now, because of the way mentorship is structured, it's long-term and it's general. You have to be very careful with those relationships.
Yes.
And that's when, for me, I'm very particular about male mentors and what exactly I want out of that relationship. And so I find that most times for male mentors, because they're the opposite sex, I come directly with what exactly I want out of
Yes.
the relationship. And I'll say something like, I admire how you, I don't come and say, hi, I would like you to be my mentor. No. I'm like, hi, I admire
Yes.
how you've turned this organization around.
Yes.
I'm currently struggling with leadership and I
Yes.
need help in that area. Do you mind if we meet once in a while and we can
Yes.
talk about what I might be going through and how I can be better? Most times they'll say yes. And so what I do
Yes.
is I plan to have things like breakfasts, public places, and when I come, I'm very structured, even
In
if I
what?
know it's a
In the
mentorship
goals, yes.
relationship. Yeah, so I'll come and say, oh, but this week, how are you? How was your week? My week was great. However, I had this challenge at work, and I don't know if that's a leadership problem,
Yes.
or it is a personality problem, or it's a combination of both. And usually they'll say, oh yeah, it looks like it's a combination
Yes.
of both. We're having tea, which he was already going to have. He was going to have
Yes.
breakfast, and those are usually very early morning
Yes.
meet.
And they're so busy.
6:30,
Yes.
7:40, like
Yes.
between 6:30 and 7:30. That's when you're having that breakfast. So it has to be. You're the one who has to be structured for this
Enough.
mentorship.
Yes.
By the way, yes.
mentorship
They should be willing to
relationship.
give, but the
The-
time.
Yes, the
The
time,
time has
but
to be
also the
right.
conversation. So I'm not going into. So yes, I'll ask how are the children, how are this. Only if I have a problem, like let's say I found that the way I'm leading at work, it's extending into my home. How should I navigate that? Then I don't give much time for us to talk in a laissez-faire, casual.
Because you have goals.
Yeah,
Yes.
because I have goals
And
and
he's
I'm
that
very
kind of
direct.
person who
and
seems to be
yes. And
structured.
even if he's not, by virtue of the fact that you've told him exactly what
Yes.
you're here for,
Yes.
it makes it so much. It's even him. It structures his mind.
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I think. So
That's good.
I've had both.
Yes.
Yeah.
You're too serious with life, Banang. It's just life. Anyway, I've been lucky to have both mentors and coaches, and both have been male.
Oh.
But for the mentors, I had two close friends who are doing very well, but all I had was friendship with them.
Oh.
I woke up one day and said, hold on. What else can I get from them? You know how you have a friend and then you walk into a space and everyone is like, oh my God, that's the billionaire. I'm like, there's something I'm not recognizing here.
In our realm, in our language, they say there is an anointing.
Yes. So it's never really been that structured. But I always know that people who you sit with, and even without them knowing it, they spew wisdom.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Either they're telling you a story about something that happened in their office, or they're telling you about a new investment in the economy,
Right.
a direction the economy is taking.
Right.
You know, and you're like, first it. Then I take out my phone, I'm in my notes and my first it that thing again.
Right.
But then also, they're the kind who you sit with, and you've come out for lunch, and then they ask, so they tell me, this
You
year,
said the other time.
what is your goal, financial goal for this year?
Right.
How are we getting there? Then they ask a waiter, do you have a pen and paper? 1 minute you are eating, the next minute is, what's your saving for this year? Where are we putting money for investment?
investment.
What happened last year to? Then with 15 minutes, that's done, and then they start. The
the
conversation
normal
goes,
jazz.
the normal jazz. But they've given you 10 minutes
Yeah.
of very good wisdom.
Worth
Worth a lifetime. Or someone says, but
To guide
you told
you.
me, but I think let's forget about that investment. It has failed. Close it, sell it, get our money out and let's move. You know, and what I like
like
about
the
men is that
selling.
they're so
They're not-
final. They're not attached to things that are failing. They're not attached to many times material things. They're like, you know, but you're here saying you need capital for the business. But you told me about that piece of land that you had. Can we liquidate that land and get money?
There you go.
And then you're like, but now, man, no. The reason we have assets is to be able to give us money, to make investments and grow. You know, those kinds of serious
I
conversations.
see both a coach and mentorship relationship there because it's really specific towards investment, and
yet,
at the same time the relationship is more
this
than.
is just a very close
There
friend.
you go, you
when
see.
he's done with that, then he's going to start asking, so tell me about the children.
Yes.
What do you
That's
can I
lovely.
come with you the next time you're going to visit them? So that's how
Because
it's
they're
been.
already friends.
Yes.
Yes,
Because
yes.
you know that
so
switch it up.
my mentors,
You said it, girl.
Yeah.
Well done.
are actually friends.
Yes.
So the times I'm a bit confused, I need to make very critical decisions, and I'll
You'll
just call
call
and say,
them up.
how is your schedule this week? Can we do tea? They're like, let's do it next week when I can give you 3 hours of my uninterrupted time.
Yes.
But by the time you're done, you've sorted out, you know,
You've aligned
things.
so
You've aligned
much,
yourself. You've sorted out things that were confusing you, and that's just about it.
Yeah.
For the coaching, it was very structured. We
Coaching, we need another show.
once a month. I
Coaching,
paid.
we need a full show.
You'd even come for the classes, and you're like, my God, do I have the proper answers? Because
Right.
the purpose of a coach is to get what is inside you and actually materialize it.
Capitalize it
Actualize
and-
it.
So every time I came, even me, I'd give answers, and I'm like, is this you? Yeah, so I've had, and they've been men.
They've been
men.
We need both, and we just know when we have to know when to apply them.
Yeah. And you?
I get nervous when people ask me to mentor them
Okay.
because I get nervous with things which are not defined properly.
Oh, yes, you do.
Yes, but if
want
you tell
things
me
like,
coaching, like, of course, mentoring. And then,
Yeah,
interestingly,
that
I get
makes
people
sense.
telling me, you have been such a wonderful mentor to my
Yeah,
daughter.
like,
When did I mentor your daughter? You've been so wonderful. It was so good, Beverly. You don't know, she talks about you so much. When? What? You know, in fact, you told her to do this. She went and did it, and it's successful. Thank you that you didn't tell me what was happening.
Right, but
It's
that
so much
was
better.
mentorship.
But it was
Without
mentor.
you
Just
knowing.
don't put me under pressure of, can you be my mentor? Just come and ask questions.
It's actually true. There's
Don't.
some pressure that comes with it, but you're asking yourself, okay, what do they want?
Yes.
Yeah.
Am I the one?
Yes.
Yeah.
And yet I
Yes.
appreciate what they may see that they want from me and I'm able to give in that moment. Just don't tell me to coach.
Right.
Just tell me to
Right.
coach. And if it's a mentorship, it will be a mentorship.
Yeah,
You
right.
know? But man, the pressure. And
Yeah, no,
so
finish.
it happens quite a bit and I don't. Interestingly, it may even be after 4 years you've spoken to this person.
Right.
Beverly, you mentored me so much, you know, because of you. All right. I'm glad I was there for that process.
Yeah,
Yes.
because which was going to lead me to my next question, the do's and the don'ts of a mentorship relationship, and this is from the beginning all the way to the end of the relationship. What are the do's and don'ts of a mentorship relationship? Let me start, for example. When you want somebody to be a mentor, you don't ask them, can you be my mentor? No.
That's a good point.
That's not what you do.
Yes.
You can ask, can you be my coach? Because that's a
Yes.
very well-defined
Yes.
relationship. And so you can,
Yes.
and you can be able to say, this is what I want out of this relationship. When you want somebody to be your mentor, you explain to them what you see about their lives. And no, you don't go saying, oh my God, you don't fangirl them. Like, oh my God, I see you the way you are wonderful, you've spoken so much and said absolutely nothing.
But sometimes you're wonderful.
Yeah, sometimes you are wonderful, but you need to be able to articulate this wonder. And say, Masai and wonder. No, please define and clearly articulate this sign and a wonder. Because when you articulate it and say, you know what, Beverly, you know what, Barbara, I admire the fact that you're a married woman, you have your children, you're well put together. I love that you're a businesswoman and an entrepreneur. Actually, you come off to me like you have so much money. And therefore... you know, something like that. While I admire that, I want to be that. And so you have to tell them that is what you're seeing in them is something that you desire. When you tell a mentor what is nice about them, and nobody hates to hear about how
No,
great
no, no.
they are.
Everybody loves to hear it.
loves. Beverly, I love how articulate you are, how you can clearly, how you are on TV, how you express yourself, and that is something that I desire and would like to have. Then you don't immediately start
Fangirling.
fangirling.
I've learned a
Can
new
I
word
meet
today.
you? Can I meet you? No,
Mentor
no. Mentor me.
You guys.
No. Because I think about a mentorship, it's a relationship.
It's a relationship, you see.
So it's like someone asking that, can I
Be
have
my
a
friend.
relationship?
Can I have can you be my girlfriend?
Can you be my
You know,
friend?
those things.
Yes.
No. And then you need to be knowing Barbara or Beverly or Manuela in such a way that you find where you fit in their lives.
That's true.
For example,
Yes.
and I admire that about you.
Yes.
I'm really good at, for example, writing great proposals and whatever.
Yes.
And I don't know if you have any need for that. I'd be willing to come and be a part of
all
that.
right. That's good.
Immediately, the mentor you want is like
Knows where to place you
knows
and what
exactly
time
where
to give
place
you.
Casta they place you.
Yeah.
Don't leave that one.
Yes.
When you come in to see them, deliver, over-deliver on that thing that they've asked, even if it is for 1 month, even if it is for 3 months. Over-deliver and use every opportunity to ask more questions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Beverly, you gave me this assignment, this is what I've done on it, and this is what I've worked on it, and it's
then
all,
you grow.
yes. And then you see her one time, and then you say, Beverly, you're really smart. How come you're smart like this? She says, oh, I'm going to an event and I'm going to, I don't know what, and I needed to dress really well. And you say, oh, okay, where do you shop? Next time I can help you pick out the clothes.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, you know more about your
Yes,
mentor
yes.
than somebody who you went and said, can you mentor me? And you're waiting for them to do
respond.
things for you as opposed to it working
Yes.
the other way.
That's a good
Then I
way.
think
I
what
thought it
you're
was-
saying. Know what you need.
out of
Yes.
that person.
Yes.
Before you even identify the person, know
Know
that
what you need.
what
do you
what
need?
do I
That's
need?
great, yes.
Then when you see the person, you're like,
Yes.
then you can approach them and say,
And then ask yourself, how can you be of help?
yes,
To that person.
Yes.
Yes.
How can you add value to their lives? Because the way people are, they want value to be added to their lives, but
they're not
never want
sure.
to add value.
And yet
to
you
the
can.
other person.
It
And
doesn't
yet
even
you-
matter
Thanks.
how great the person
course
is.
you can,
You
yes.
can always add value.
Yes.
I was told Bill Gates meets people for 5 minutes.
Hey.
So if you spend the first 1 minute and a half praising him and the work he's doing in Africa and the fight against mosquitoes and what, 1.5. Then the next
Say thank you for Microsoft.
They are 5 minutes already.
You understand? When the 5 minutes are done, that's it. So people who are going to meet him know exactly. Good morning, sir. How are you? And then you say exactly what you want, and he's there with a notebook and knows how he's going to.
He makes his
Five.
Yeah.
So imagine if we knew
Yeah.
that when you're approaching somebody,
this is how they are.
5 minutes.
Yeah.
Prepare yourself. Prepare what you want and what
Yeah.
you want to say.
Yeah.
But I think for on the mentors, on the mentors side, it's important to also get one who can keep some kind of confidentiality.
Of course, I think that's so
yes.
important.
Yes, people's information
Not
is
some
so-
kind.
a lot of it.
Yes.
People's information, especially because somebody is going to be vulnerable with you.
Yeah.
People's information is so what is it called? Delicate. Like I don't want to sit with Manuela and then she's telling me. So the other girl, Elizabeth,
Yeah, you see her there.
she came to me, but you know she's so disorganized. She didn't know what she wants in life. And then when I meet her, she's talking to me, and all I'm thinking about is this disorganized one.
Yeah.
So confidentiality is good, but also when somebody approaches you, take the time
Right.
to say, what am I going to teach them? How do I structure? Because sometimes they're asking you to mentor them on something that has come easily for you, or that you've done through the years, you've learned on the job. There was no manual for you. But can we create some kind of manual
Yeah.
to help, so that even when she comes
To
to you,
guide,
or
yeah.
to guide, when the person comes to you, let them walk away with some kind of value.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You say, I met somebody recently, they were at a small family, or, you know, like families coming together, like, and I remember we were having a conversation, and a wife told the husband, I think we're talking about this topic pretty much, and the wife tells the husband, but for you, I don't think you should get any mentees. Because you have nothing to tell them now.
The wife told the husband that?
Yes, and not in a bad way, actually, based on what she has said. She said, And he's like, yeah, but why? Now, this is a very wealthy man. There was a time he didn't have a job for a whole year, but their life never changed.
Yes.
He has, like, he can tell, like, if you came to him and said, Bana netaga sente, you know, he has the money, but he will not tell you how.
Oh, so he yes,
Why?
yes.
Because, so the wife tells him, don't mentor people. When he's asking why, she says, because for you've been lucky. You don't have steps to, but now you be how to be a great, leader. You're just a great leader. You don't know. You don't.
The grind.
You don't have the grind. You don't have the hard work. You've been a lucky man. That every job you've gotten, you've been the best at it. You can't even say read your books. You are a clever man.
Yes.
So when it came to books, you just
Sailed
just
through.
did what you did. So now what will you tell someone? To read at 2 a.m. Did you read at 2 a.m.? No.
Makes sense, I
So that's why I was laughing, because I was like, she is like, clearly I have no value to add to this one's life.
He has the value.
Yes, but how does he explain?
Yes. Okay.
Yeah,
So
so
I
I
get
found
it.
that.
However, he could say he's used that cleverness well, because some people are clever, but then they use their ability for things that are detrimental.
Yeah.
And so he could say, with whatever you have been given,
Right.
whether it was easy or what, use it to provide and promote goodness.
Yeah. He would just have to find a structure of how
A
to
structure of how to
explain it.
explain it. I think that would be the 10th level of self-actualization
Right.
these people need from the
Right,
ground up,
right.
basics up to.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
How do you establish that this mentorship relationship is a good relationship? This is the right mentorship.
Yes.
I got the right
Yes.
mentor. How do you go to bed and say, yeah, I got it?
It's exactly that. When I go to bed and I know. I'm not, literally, it's that.
Yeah.
For me, every time I am energized, I know it was an experience. And I may not define it at the time as mentorship,
Yeah.
but there was growth and the person was experienced. And by the end of it, their intention was to guide me into that process. I'm like, oh my, and I linger over it for so long.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and it's enough to take me through until we
Right.
meet again. So
Right.
for me, that is exactly it. When I go to bed and I'm like, oh my,
Answer was
literally,
the
that's
question.
it. That's it for me.
Yeah.
When I leave and I'm like, so much to think about, process, so much goodness. And when I
Right.
say goodness, I don't mean that they were praising me
Yeah.
or fan. No, it's not that.
Yeah.
They were telling me truths.
Yeah.
Some were hard to listen to,
Oh, yeah.
but by the end of it, I
That's
was
a
like,
good relationship.
Oh my goodness, yes. So it wasn't all soppy, because I also don't like that. I don't like
Yeah.
the fake praise, and I can point it out. I don't
Right.
like it.
Right.
That's when I know, oh my goodness, so much truth in here. How
Right.
wonderful. But then there's some people who tell you hard truths, and for some reason, I may not receive it as well. And then
Yeah.
there are others who say hard truths, and you receive it
with
well.
grace.
Maybe you can see the intent. I don't know. The
heart.
intention behind it, the
Right.
heart behind it, because there's
Right.
some who just want to make you feel horrible, and there's some who are like, but Beverly, no, you're not going to do that.
Yeah.
And then you're like, anyway, you're right.
Yeah.
I shouldn't.
Right.
There was a time when I've belonged to different groups of people. There was a time I belonged to a certain group, and a friend of mine had been living abroad. When she came back, I told her, oh, I'm just going to meet some friends of mine. It was before I got married. So she said, come and say, I said, go, come and say hi to them. So she said, Beverly, who are these? These are not the kind of people you should be spending time with. Oh, no. But do you know, because a lot of my great friends had gone abroad with their masters or had gone to relocate, those friends who really knew me were not there. And so I found my way. And by the way, they were not bad people. Please understand.
Yeah, they were just not
It's just
right.
that it's not
Ooh.
every person who is good is meant for you.
Yeah.
That's what we
They are
seem
not
to
right
think.
for you,
That's why
yeah.
people go to every fellowship and
Right.
every church, because they're church. They are good churches, but they're not
Right
the right
for you.
fellowship for you. It's like every good man. Not every good man is meant to be your husband.
That's true.
Or, you
That's
know what I
true.
mean? And I was like, oh my goodness, she's so right. But you know, I hadn't seen it because those who knew me had all gone abroad.
Right.
The ones who knew me, DNA, blood, kidney, liver,
Lol.
Seriously. And I was like, oh my goodness, why didn't I see it? Because all of these good women were blind to who I truly was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And yet they were doing good things, praying the Bible, saying good things. And we were
Right.
doing good community work, but it
Yeah.
wasn't great for me.
For you.
I think
every,
it's-
yeah, not every good thing is
Yes.
right.
It's good
and so
for
they
you.
weren't the
Yeah.
right mentors for me, mentors at the time for me.
Right.
And this lady was able to pick it.
Yeah.
You see?
Wow.
And so I realized, oh my goodness, what? It's like, she
Light
took off her
bulb
veil
moment.
Yeah,
and she had
you
been
saw
abroad.
it,
She
yeah.
came back just a week within, she was like, Beverly, no,
You shouldn't be hanging with
absolutely
such.
not.
I think the right
Yes.
the right mentor starts with a success story. There's something they're
So their
successful
person,
at.
that person,
Yeah, that there's something that you've seen that you want to succeed at,
Yeah.
but they're successful at it.
it.
Experience is not just enough.
Yeah.
If you want
Ooh.
mentorship
they have
in
to be
marriage, you don't just go
experienced.
to someone who's been married 30 years. What's their story?
what is their
Ooh,
story?
that's
Yes.
so powerful.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it starts.
Is it a good marriage?
Thank you. Is it the one you want to have?
Right.
You know, it starts with identification of success.
Yes.
I want to succeed
Like
at
you.
that.
Yes, yes.
So I'll come to a person who's doing it right, who I think is there, and say, can you hold my hand and guide me
Yeah.
to get to where you are or even better?
Right.
But also to know that the person wants to mentor and to teach. Some people want to be at the top
had alluded
and they are
it.
not ready to
They're not
bring
ready.
other
You had
people to them.
alluded to
They want to
Yeah.
be the ones that are admired and
Yes.
what and spoken to. That's there. We can't hide it. That's there. So if you go to that kind of person, they might not allow,
you down.
but also they might not give you what you're looking for because they want to remain. And that thing happens even in all relationships,
yes.
friendships, family, and what. Some people want to be at the top. So you can't walk to someone like that and think you're going to get value out of it.
Right.
And also, if every time you meet your mentor, you walk away and there's a light bulb that's been switched on.
Right.
They've said something you had not thought about,
Right.
but it's true. When they say it, you're like, oh my God,
Why did I
why
think
did I think about this thing? It's just those
is
those
so true.
that's
Yeah.
that means value.
Right.
Every time you meet them, they're adding some kind of value to
Right.
you, or they're making your thought process move in a particular
Change.
direction and change.
Yeah.
That's how I'd know that we're walking a good
where
path.
I am.
Yeah, I'm not here. I'm not moving.
Wow.
I've been in a space where in the mentorship relationship, I could tell that these people were not ready for who I was. Because of my nature and liveliness, I could see they thought they were ready. They were not ready for Beverly. Now
Right.
that they've met the Beverly, whose potential they have increased, they should be excited. They are not. And it's been a challenge. Because you know what happens to people like me? Then we'll go and find another one. And then you'll see us successful there. But what did we do? And they'll still want the recognition of their mentorship. They'll still
and
want
yet
it.
and yet
And
the
yet they
mentorship
know they
ended.
did everything to
Destroy
make
you,
sure
put you down.
that it was not.
Right.
Yes, they
Yeah.
still want that recognition.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Yeah.
So maybe you'll say, and during this time, you were there for this period. Then I found. So, you know.
And then they're like, you see that Beverly there? I know her. You see her there. She got mentorship.
And then
from
they'll
me.
say, yes, then they'll take the credit for
Yeah,
something.
for something that they
because they
didn't do.
didn't.
Yeah.
Were not ready for the
For-
potential Beverly had.
Had,
They
yeah.
were not.
Wow. When to know that you're in the right relationship, it must be almost uncomfortable.
Yes.
I find that most people want mentors where everything is comfortable and smooth
Yes.
and nice.
They don't
Yes.
stick on your thought process.
Yeah, they don't think of your
they
thought
don't
process. They
think-
just they go with you, happy go lucky. We are good. We are fine. How is marriage? It is you just
Yes.
they don't challenge you to see outside of yourself. Say for example, if you talk about a problem that you're having in your marriage, they're always just as if they are on your side only, and they're not showing you every
That
other
Manuela.
every other
Yes.
angle. They're not showing you what your husband could be thinking. They're not showing you what your children
Yes.
could be thinking. They're not showing you what your parents could be doing, meddling
Yes.
into your relationship. You know, things like that, because those things make you uncomfortable.
Yes.
When they tell you something outside of yourself that's not you, they are not supporting you. Then you know
Yes.
this one. It's not about
Making you feel
making
good.
me feel good.
No.
This is real mentorship where they want me to be a better person. The second thing is there should be results on your end.
You must be able
There
to show.
must be results. If you have no results, you're not in the right mentorship relationship.
Your
Either
life should be changing.
yes, and when we say relationship, I don't know if you can tell. I'm not saying mentor. You don't have the right mentor. You could be having the right mentor, but the relationship is wrong.
Yes.
For example, you're not getting. For example, people expect the mentor to call them. Mentors don't call you.
They don't even have that
They
time.
don't have that time.
Yes.
They're not the ones to try and get the appointment done right. Even when when you write them a message and they don't respond, yeah, you don't go and get annoyed. I have many of those, and I'm like, guys, you look for your mentor, and if you find that your mentor is such a busy person, make yourself a part of your mentor's life, such that
you are.
even if they
find you
didn't
somewhere on
respond,
their path.
Yes.
thanks. Even if you didn't respond, they will find you
Yes.
in the coaching class.
Yes.
Hi, so
Yes.
you didn't come for the meeting. And
You're
like, no,
volunteering in
you-
their office,
you're
they'll find you in the
volunteering there.
corridor.
Thank you very much. You're the one who's providing the tea. They will see you. Oh, you didn't.
Yes.
Oh, your message. I'm going to respond. Because you are present, they can see you. You are there. You're providing value to them. So you might be having a good mentor, but you're in a wrong relationship. So the right relationship is one where you'll be uncomfortable, and then you will also find growth.
Yes.
You'll find change. You'll find
Yes.
results.
And
Yeah.
you must seek that growth. I like that because some mentees, you have to follow up.
Ah.
Did you do these things? And you're like,
I
and
don't
every
follow up
time I
mentees.
follow up, then I know that person wasn't ready, and it organically dissipates. Organically, it just loses its strength. And those who want, oh my goodness, they will. When are you free? I'm going to call you at 9. You said 9. I'll call you. A WhatsApp call, this call. You see.
Yeah.
And those who are not ready, you follow up once, twice. You're like, they are not ready.
I
They are
don't
not
follow.
ready. They're not. Readiness is important, and I think a good mentor can tell readiness.
Yes.
But today
I don't know what's up. Readiness is the thing.
Oh,
Speaking of good mentorship, how do you know that this is not a good mentor for me, or a bad mentor, or this journey that I've started, I need to get out of it.
Yes.
I need to exit.
Yes.
How do you know? How do you identify?
That Anisha is a bad mentor.
Let me not sugarcoat it.
That's
Okay.
a bad mentor.
Yeah. So how do you know you have a
there's
bad mentor?
So many ways you can know you have a bad mentor.
but a couple of red flags. You mean?
Oh yes, red flags. Yes.
I would say one of them is your instinct. There are times, because we have certain admiration for people, we ignore red flags more. Because your admiration is so high, when they commit to flaws, you say, anyway, they're so wonderful. They accomplish this. And we ignore. Yet in
Yeah.
any
Real
other
red
person,
flags.
it would have been a red flag.
Yeah.
Right.
But because you hold this person in such high esteem,
esteem.
that's why pedestals are dangerous.
Right.
Because when you ignore the red flags, it means you feel inferior to that person and you're giving them too much credit. That's
much
when
power.
easily they can destroy you because you're too weak to call them out. And I don't mean calling them out on social media, but what I mean is when you see the red flag, address it and go away. Because they're powerful people, some of them, walk away before it becomes dangerous.
Right.
That red flag could could actually hurt you if you ignore it. Because it could be a red flag which is sexually wrong
Right.
and puts you in a position of compromise and you have no way out. Because this person wants to meet you in a location which is uncomfortable. But because of their position, they're a pastor. And I say this because I've heard of so many stories. That's why I'm saying this, because it's a pastor. And you're like, but how? But anyway, it's touching you in a certain way. But anyway, okay, you call him uncle. What do they call them? Papa? What those titles? Those titles.
Dear, the
see?
road you are going down is
Where,
very dangerous.
Yes.
It's slippery.
And so, yes, that's a red flag. But also, anytime you feel uncomfortable, not even if it's a sexual provocation, if you feel uncomfortable, you're not growing. as they said, they promised this and they're not. They're not being time bound. I have people who have promised that I will coach their companies in public speaking. Beverley, we are going to. The promises they've made. You people, you think I'd be seated here with you? Drinking
Doing
from this
what?
glass?
Miyamoto's.
You would be speaking to the assistant of my assistant's assistant.
Right.
That is where, if all these promises had come, and what I'm trying to say is, so many promises have been made by people who had actually started on a mentorship relationship with me. For some reason, they never fulfilled that commitment.
Right.
Now, the red flags, I could see them because you'd remind, and then suddenly, boom. Afterwards, you find out, actually, their companies were struggling, or they were having a terrible relationship with their marriage. They couldn't deal with something else, or something was going on. And so you notice these things. Having said that, sometimes if your mentor is a man, and you have such a great relationship with them, and they don't have a great relationship with their wife, for me, that's also a problem, because it has happened.
Right.
The wife is your friend, but their relationship is really full of tension, and this man is so free with you. I'm uncomfortable with that.
Right.
I like the relationship and how he's serving me, but I'm not ready to get into that. It's too messy for me to deal with.
Yeah.
And
Anything,
it's too
it
messy.
can be
it's too messy. It's too messy.
in so many ways.
But
too
also the person
messy.
is not integral.
Yes.
There's two sides to them.
There are two sides,
yes.
and I'm not ready to be part of that, even though I was receiving adequate and sufficient and wonderful information for my growth.
Yeah.
Those are
Red flags.
some for
you.
me, yes.
Yeah, there are many. I get you. One for me is a mentorship relationship is meant to open your world, for example, to opportunities. If you're not getting opportunities, there's a bit of a red flag,
Yes.
especially if you're doing everything right.
Yes. So this mentorship relationship should have
Yes,
been
there
one that results in.
Yes, that should be able to result in, and you
Good point.
want to be in a place where, again, from where you're getting better. But if you're not getting better,
Yes,
you're
yes.
not in a good relationship. You're not in a good mentorship relationship. Be wary of mentors who, in a bid or in the disguise of giving you feedback, instead are destroying you. There's a difference.
Oh, you're right.
And let's say you're a person who doesn't have other issues, because also sometimes it could be the mentee.
Thank you.
Yes.
But let's say you're a good mentee, you have very good mental health, you have a very good, in general, a person that can receive feedback and you can work on it. But every time they give you feedback, you feel like they are
There's
They're
something.
hurting
you down, then there's an issue there. If you're working with a mentor where you, let's say, for example, share an idea of something that you want to do, and they do it.
They take your idea and yes, yes,
And it happens.
It happens, yes.
Because you don't have the resources, you don't have the
Yes.
networks,
You've
don't
not worked it out.
Thanks.
You don't know
You don't
what
know.
next steps to
That's
take.
what the
ins and
mentorship was
outs.
supposed to do, but then
Thanks.
instead,
Thanks. That's what the mentorship should be doing. But then instead, you wake up and you're like, eh. And even sometimes they'll ask you, that idea, I want to try it out. Mentor. How do I say don't?
You say, yeah, try it and then let me know.
Yeah, why? Of course, I can't tell you no.
Yes.
I have to say yes.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
That's so
Another red flag is when the mentor wants more out of you than you should be giving. Say, for example, you're going to start a company, you've started a company, they see that it's very successful, then they're like, I want shares in your company.
oh my goodness.
It should be coming from your end, where you feel the need that this is something that I would like.
Yes.
I would
To do
like
with my
I would
mentor.
like to do with my mentor.
They're
Actually, I
abusing
want
the
to
power.
transition the relationship from mentor
To
to business
partnership.
partner, which is also a hard thing to do.
It is.
Because immediately you can become partners and they still have the mentorship relationship in their mind. Your idea, your business suddenly becomes
Theirs.
theirs.
The power relations are
because the
difficult
power
to
relations are
maintain.
very difficult to maintain. So you have to be very careful with how that works out. So I found that for me, those are the red flags where I'm just like, I've found good mentors who will tell me things like, you need a really good chairman of your board for your company. I'm like, hey, okay. I write down chairman of the board.
But they
Everything
don't say I
that
should
they
be
have
the
not said
chairman.
I. It's when I go to my bed that I'm like, but
This person can
this
be.
person can be the chairman of my board. So they remove themselves
Yes.
from being involved in your life. As long as they do that, they're a good mentor. But those ones who come and become
They
Assert
get
themselves in
entangled.
too many.
that one.
I think for me, once you identify that what you thought the mentor was and what they are,
It's different.
and when you spend time with people, you can only hide for so long.
Yes.
For instance, you discover the person is running a successful business, but there are things they're not declaring to the world that they're doing. There's some there are illegal transactions that are happening. There's some corruption that's happening. And, you know, they're mentoring you in marriage, but you realize they're having an extramarital relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, so once you realize the person is not what
Who
you
they
thought,
truly
I mean, it's not just a red flag. I think it's a whole Christmas tree.
That's a yes, and it doesn't matter at what point. And the thing is, you saw the red flag. Maybe it was just a tinge of pink, but you know we always notice those things.
Right.
It was a tinge of pink, but because of the high esteem. But it's terrible.
But some
when
people,
you
some
find
people are actually good at hiding.
Right.
Especially business. How would you know that I have
Business.
some illegal transactions until you
Right.
come and start working with me?
Right.
You just see me entering the bank, banking, getting out, and
Yes.
So I think that for me, once you identify that this is not the person that I want to work with,
Right.
it's time for you to withdraw.
Right. I also think extending a mentorship relationship that ended already.
yes, oh,
You've
yes.
grown.
You've grown.
Now you can become friends.
Now you can. Now what are you doing?
Yes.
Any more mentorship
Yes.
becomes problematic.
You need another mentor
You
then
n-
to
yes.
Take it to the next level.
Yes, yes.
Sometimes you can outgrow your mentor.
How
That's
do you
true.
close that
Yeah.
relationship? That's interesting. Is it organic? I think both of you know it somehow ended.
So that that's such a good question.
Do you have the conversation, or do you let it dwindle, or do you ghost the mentor?
No, don't go.
I like what you said. You transition to friendship because you kind of had both in a
Yes,
certain way.
certain way.
So you transition to friendship. So say, for example, if you are a lot in their space, you now come and tell them, oh, by the way, thank you so much for all that you've trained me on.
Yes.
It looks like my time is now going to get even...
Buy a gift, please.
Please,
Please.
assist us. Please buy a gift when you're coming to have. In fact, every time you're going to see your mentor,
Carry
these are the do's and
something.
don'ts. Carry something for your mentor. Don't go
I
empty.
love
It doesn't matter how small it is,
Yes.
but carry a gift
carry
for
something.
them.
So for that, really, you're able to say, so my time is because of this
Yes.
arm of the business that we opened up. My time is going to be even more indulged, but I do. And so I can't be here any longer, but I would like to give you 3 months. I want to work for, while I juggle both, but by the 3
Yes.
months I'll be really done. Say it
Yes.
in a kind of, but the truth is a good mentor will know that time is up. There are times
Yes.
when I've told my mentees, you've outgrown me.
I'm,
Yes.
I'm not adding
And
any
it's-
value
yes,
to you.
and it's not that you're better than me. No, but what you
The
needed
assignment
me
is over.
for, you got it.
Yes.
Yeah, you came here. You wanted I can't give you any more value. Or I'm not able to articulate it. Or even me, I need to go to my next level for me to be able
Yes.
to help you
At your next
at
level.
your next level. So now it's time to find another mentor.
A great way to end a mentor-mentee relationship is to invite them home for dinner. Meet my family. I want to meet the person who has been mentoring me for a year to
Right.
thank you for this wonderful journey.
Oh, that's a
We
good
can't
one.
just end with a hug.
Yeah.
Come and meet the family. And that's how we're going to end this wonderful episode.
Come and meet our families.
Here is a drink.
We're not ending any relationship.
Thanking you for this wonderful 1 hour you spent with us. Our relationship temporarily is over, but it continues in the comment section. Like, comment, share. Tell us about your mentorship journey. Who is your mentor? Who is your mentee? What is your relationship like? What have you learned? And in that journey, here's a gift for your mentor if you're looking for one. We're at the Kolos Wellness Spa in Bugolobi. It's fantastic, serene. It just brings out the best in you. Your pores will suddenly become moisturized.
She has to be dramatic
The
about
scent,
it.
when you enter this place, it's like scented candles are following you everywhere, calling your name. Come for a spa. And that's where we are today, Kolos Wellness Spa. And you know what we're going to do? We're also giving out vouchers for women who are watching this program. If you know any who deserve, maybe it could be you, you could win a voucher for a wonderful treat at the Kolos Wellness Spa, which was named after the Colosseum, which is an amphitheater in Rome used for games. You know, they've got the Olympic sign?
Yes.
The 5 rings.
Yeah.
That's where we are. That's why we look the way we look. Look at our skins. They didn't just happen like this. They didn't happen like this. God bless you so much. Enjoy your mentorship week. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.